Okay, here we are back in Civilization 6, on our quest to make America great again. Where we last left off, we realized how bad our situation was, and I need to work out my districts. So we need to kill some time here to let the population go up to 10. I don't know how St. Louis is in terms of pop, but hopefully it doesn't need too much help. Peel is charming. Why did they bring us to Washington when we should be up here? So what's the criteria for this again? Must be built on flat land adjacent to a campus with a library. I'm gonna put it here. We're about to hit civil service. What in the hell? Okay, we're gonna have a problem here. I'm very tempted to go burn down after that. Used to immediately start a war. Okay, Gilgamesh, we're gonna have to do this the hard way, aren't we? Now, unfortunately, since I have no access to iron... Oh, I can't No, I need the iron to upgrade this. I'm just going to have to try to build other units. It's entirely possible they could go after on us. And I'm going to need walls around Boston just in case they try something.
It's all papers and forms. The entire civil service is like a fortress, made of papers, forms, and red tape.
+1 housing in all cities with at least 2 specialty districts. No, it's not worth it. I was thinking about swapping out the Great Scientist, but... Can I actually get one yet? It's a merchant, engineer, architect... Oh, so you use faith on these guys. Is there really only 4 of us left? See, I need to work on my districts here as soon as I get the chance. The other thing that's kind of hurting is I'm not getting the Eureka bonuses. All of the naval ones I'm completely sealed off from just because there's no good place to found a city. But if I don't get either of these wonders, I'm going to be in a really bad spot. I'm going to go ahead and buy that. It'll pay for itself in time. Now the one advantage I do have on here is, if you notice, I can put my units here and we basically have point blank access to the city. So I can basically set up a blitz. The problem is I have to worry about the other stuff flowing down over here. And since I want to be really scumbag here, how much is it to buy this empty tile? 105. I'm going to do that next turn. That way I can set up my artillery units right here. Then we just shell the hell out of the place. Okay, St. Louis. Education will finish at the same time as the aqueduct. Unfortunately, I just did burn all my gold, so I can't put out a university immediately. So, I am going to want to put out at least a theater district here to boost my culture, because I need to at least get my government up and running.
The purpose of education is to replace an empty mind with an open one.
Six policy slots? So let's go to machinery, that way I can at least get the crossbowmen ready. Terracotta army requires a stable, which I can't build. Could go with the ancient walls. This one seems to be the most valuable. So +2 in building wonders and stuff. I will gladly take that. So that should speed up all my production across the board. I'm definitely concerned about the war cards, I'm not gonna lie. They want swordsman, give me some iron then. Then we can talk. Meanwhile, Buenos Aires. Oh, I don't have the industrial zones, so yeah, this actually doesn't do anything for me. I'm gonna need to put those up as soon as I get this done. And unfortunately, I don't know if the industrial zones benefit from mountains, water, or what exactly. I'm hoping that there's some sort of synergy if it's next to Well, maybe being next to a mine would also help. But yeah, my hands are kind of tied right here. The only thing left for me to do is just build up my money. One thing I want to see about Boston, though. How are the tiles here being worked? That one is a little suboptimal. Okay, can I buy a builder here? Builder is 260, and the tiles that I wish to buy are the 2 stone ones. We'll grab this one right here now. So to save up for the 260 or whatever, it's going to cost me 8 turns about. Depends on whether or not I can get any more gold in the meantime. Kinda wonder if Gilgamesh is the one who wiped out all those other civs. We're gonna have to go looking for capital cities when we get up there. Can we actually see one of his war carts real quick? It's interesting that he still has a warrior.
Our dedication to the ways of science has attracted a great scientist to our civilization.
Yeah. So let's see. 3 random technologies from the Renaissance or Industrial era must be completed on a campus. So is that the only thing he's good for anymore? I'm going to use this next turn just so it doesn't pop on machinery. And he is draining some of my gold, so I can't afford to keep him around too long.
I'd imagine the whole world as one big machine. Machines never come with any spare parts, you know. They always come with the exact amount they need.
Or less.
I conclude then this point touching upon the power of kings with this axiom of divinity. That is, to dispute what God may do is blasphemy. So it is sedition to dispute what a king may do.
In any city with medieval walls. Gain 5 influence per turn. We also get chivalry. Now, the wonders I'm working on right now. Are they medieval? So yeah, we're gonna drop that. Oh man. Kinda would like Merchant Republic. So if I had that long enough for it to become legacy, Classical Republic. So yeah, we're not going to change our government just yet. I want to keep the one bonus. So where's the Merchant Republic? Well, it's going to be a little while before we get here. Oh, you can use this to build roads. Forbidden City plus... That's really nice. Economics, that's good. Metal casting, that sounds good. Banking. So those all sound really, really good. Could send this for Kyoto, gives me more gold, but I want the culture, so we're going to stick to Vilnius. Need 6 farms for feudalism. That is not happening, I'm afraid. I don't think I actually have any farms, to be honest, because I don't like using the builders that way, but it seems like it may not be a very bad idea. Sumeria has declared war on Japan. Double rumor. So now that we got rid of the great person, our gold generation has gone back up. And hopefully while the two of them are busy beating the crap out of each other, I can regain some ground. Of course, this will suck if the Japanese fall behind, but they should be in peak condition right now, fielding their samurai. It's going to take me some time before I can unleash the Rough Riders. I can never remember what this icon is. Tourism. You know, I just realized something. I'm building my theater district right next to a college campus, a wheat field, and some prairie ground. What in the hell are these people coming out to see? Kinda wish there was something I could use all this faith on. That holy district is not helping me in the slightest. Actually, I think I had enough gold there that I could have bought the builder. So we're going to send the builder out here. Oh, Kyoto's getting hit. I'm really hoping the Japanese can hold out. If they can't, then there's really nothing left stopping him from coming after me. Go back to Buenos Aires. So you can see his walls are gradually falling down. That means there's some sort of siege unit being fielded. Close to getting that great library. Now has its own walls. And somehow, whatever fortifications it has are significantly better than St. Louis. Kyoto has fallen. So is he going to wipe out the Japanese or what? We saw a catapult right there, by the way. What the hell is Jerusalem going to do to them? Right now, my best course of action is just try to pass them in terms of tech. There are certain choke points where I can try to catch the majority of their army.
We can roam the bloated stacks of the Library of Alexandria, where all imagination and knowledge are assembled. We can recognize in its destruction the warning that all we gather will be lost.
And there's our library. So that gave us the archery boost. That's really random. Celestial okay, just gave us all the boosts for that era, I guess. Jerusalem did declare war. So let's get to work on that. In terms of pop, I am capped. I don't think there's anything I can really build to make it better either. 900 gold for that. So Jerusalem is going to get mowed down right here. And the bad part is I'm just completely surrounded at that point. I'm going to have to put up an industrial zone in Boston, and that way I can just try to crank out stuff to defend myself. I'm going to need to buy walls there, even though they're not going to help too much.
we have uncovered a way to increase our farming output. To tap into this potential, I suggest we try to maintain 2 adjacent farms to each plot of farmland.
The pen might not be mightier than the sword, but maybe the printing press is heavier than the siege weapon. Just a few words can change everything. In democracy, it's your vote that counts. In feudalism, it's your count that votes.
Never forget that. Build a university adjacent to a mountain. That's not actually that difficult to do. 1 diplomatic policy slot gives you culture and faith. That's pretty nice. Metal casting. I think I'm gonna need gunpowder just to try to protect myself. And it looks like he's almost on to the next era already. That requires iron, but I have to get it, unfortunately. Let's grab that first. Now the library is not going to help me in the slightest. Amphitheater. We're going for the walls. Jerusalem wants a trade route even though they may not be in the world for much longer. Chichen Itza. What does that do in this game? Wow. That's probably in his capital. My main concern about putting a mine here is that it would only be 1 point of production. We'll peek here and see what the lumber mill will do. A couple more turns till I get this. So St. Louis is going to be my research place. Fukuoka is facing a siege. Wonder if I should have just taken a 4th city, even if it would have been in a less than desirable position. You don't have to worry about the wonders from Civ 5 where you have to have a certain building built in all the places, like you don't need a university everywhere to build a national college, stuff like that. So if I were to build a lumber mill here, that's not really enough to justify it, I have to say. So this is going to be the last tile I buy for a while. Would be nice if I could find out how to improve the quarry yields. Let's see if they tell us. You need rocketry for another one. You get gold from banking.
But the wrath of Hoochly was great, and as the sacrifice passed each of the 4 rooms dedicated to the sun god, the sun disappeared or reappeared in the sky.
So hopefully this was worth the investment. So this doesn't receive bonuses from anything. Let's work on a theater square there.
If it's natural to kill, how come men have to go into training to learn how?
To learn how to do it efficiently. So... I definitely think Merchant Republic's the best way to go. Let's swap this out. And we got a nice surge of... What do we get from this one? +2 from every theater. Okay, we got the walls. I could build the amphitheater. Library will give me a citizen slot anyway. Could build entertainment. But I think I'd rather build industrial. So I get a bonus from each side here. Getting through his rainforest is going to be so damn hard, and that's what I'm mainly worried about. Technically, he has given me a road, but this road isn't going to help too much. I just made too many wrong directions early on.
Rocks in my path? I keep them all. With them, I shall build my castle.
Nobody Knight? That's what Nemo Nox means, isn't it? Oh, I do have stuff queued up. Kinda wonder how he's doing for gold generation. He might have me pretty soundly beat at this rate. Medieval fairs, +2 housing. +1 gold from each envoy. That's not too bad. So I imagine I'm probably going to be getting hit here. Let's go for the medieval wall. Well, how much does it cost to build a workshop? 700. And you can't buy walls, you have to build them. If I went for the workshop, that would give me more production, which I could then use for more walls. Would give me a citizen slot. If I go for the medieval wall, that doesn't really give me anything, so... yeah, I'm in a rough spot here. What does an encampment do? We're going for the workshop. Sumeria has become a classical republic. Now that I think about it, I was talking about changing my government, but I wanted to linger for that one bonus. How do I get this? Yeah, I don't know how I get to keep that. One more turn, it says. Oh my god, Sumeria's gone industrial. I think they've run away with the game. Like, I legitimately have no idea how they got this far ahead in tech. I don't know how to get a cultural victory, so I can't backdoor that thing.
Blast, build, battle.
Now I want the culture. Would the shrine actually give me anything? Faiths isn't slot. Meh. Now that I think about it, I could actually build a wonder here if I spec'd correctly. Forbidden Palace should be up for grabs. Japan is a theocracy. They're trading with Sumeria. They probably are surrendering, to be honest. My main hope is I need to hold out long enough in the industrial era. Well, I need oil, first of all. If I don't have any oil, I'm probably just going to throw in the towel right off the bat. I need to get to the industrial era, get the B-52 so I can get some aerial defense, and then try to turn this into an air war, because if he's gone industrial, I'm not even sure if the Rough Riders are going to help.
Few inventions have been so simple as the stirrup, but few have had so catalytic an influence on history.
Trying to save up my money to insta-buy a university here. The other places are going to build theirs.
All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that told.
No, I'm going to keep my culture. So, yeah, let's work on this now. Yeah, in retrospect, going for that holy site first has really screwed me over. I probably had a really good start, too, had I not wasted my time with it. So this will take forever to build, I'm afraid. Could go for the aqueduct to boost my population here. Let's see. Yeah. I'm still going to try to buy the university. I don't even have a library here? Holy crap. Well, that would explain a little bit about why I'm lagging behind so much. Only a little bit. So he has a knight on the field. That means his war cards have finally expired. Problem is, I don't know if I have stuff that can actually beat a knight. So that's 48 melee strength. I were to actually get a musketman, 55, so I could actually compete that way. So the one up for grabs, Galileo Galilei. I'm okay with burning him now, even if it gives me the gunpowder one. That's still not necessarily a bad thing. Transfer to another city, skip turn, sleep, move to... So yeah, the only thing you can do is activate him, I think. And he gives a different effect. Science based off the number of mountain tiles, so this would be the best bet. The next best one, this would... Can I get him up here? Because that would be a lot of science. I don't know if he has to be in my territory for that to work, but worst come to worst, I can try to buy some tiles up there. Just to make sure. I'm gonna cancel that and see if... it has the white tile. We'll let him go. I was a little concerned that it may have only worked on campus tiles or something like that. We have a new envoy. So does this unlock a new resource, or how does that work exactly, I wonder? Anyway, his stuff is starting to rear its ugly heads, so let's grab that. Now, any extra science should pour into a new tech. Great Zimbabwe. Trade routes from the city gain +2 gold for every bonus resource in the enemy's territory. Adjacent to cattle. That's worthless. +1 diplomatic, must be built on a hill. Might be able to use this. If I want to go for mass production, this will give me the shipyard. Venetian arsenal. Okay, time to pop Galileo.
Man is a military animal, glories in gunpowder, and loves parades. All the best romances bloom in the midst of a good siege.
What the hell kind of line is that? Some of these lines are just insane, I think. So that'd be 43 strength, but it requires the niter. I have to look around to see if I have any of that. Military Academy, I can get the cavalry. That requires horses, though. Another resource I don't have. So you know what, let's just go ballistics. So I can grab this with Boston.
In peace, one is despoiled by mercenaries. In war, by one's enemies.
So the new stuff here, discount on upgrades, which is decent. Then there were some others. Sack yields from pillaging are higher. That doesn't help. So when the hell do I get... It's right here. 9 turns. Was hoping that would knock it down a bit. We have to build 2 caravels, which I can't do because I'm not on the coast. Japan denounced Sumeria. Still has some war cards lingering around. So we're going from 53.8 science. It's decent. That's not worth it. So I need a pop of 13 for that. If I were to grab a shrine, that's going to give me an additional citizen slot. That's pretty much the main reason why I'm thinking about doing this. I'm getting close to hitting the cap, so I need to boost it a bit more. And by the time that finishes, I can actually try to field some bombards. Wow, Boston's grown really rapidly. Patala Palace. Wonder if I should slide over here and try to finish off Japan. Tokyo would be very helpful
And
for having a
first
coastal
Hephaestus
city.
makes a great and massive shield, and he forged on the shield 2 noble cities.
So university complete here in Washington. Or, no, this should be the shrine that was completed. Could build the temple. This gives me an additional citizen. Cost me 2 gold to maintain, though, which I'm not too eager to do. So at least we know the encampment is pretty important in future games. My plan is to still buy the university there, in case you're wondering. Problem is, that's going to take some time, I'm afraid. Okay, now that that's in place, we're going to slide this over here. And I just want to make sure that's being worked. I want to see what my defense jumps up to after I finish this. One other thing I should have looked at doing is just deleting these warriors, since I'm never going to be able to upgrade them. Yeah, if I can get a defensive force out here just to mow down anything incoming, I definitely would love to siege Ur. Probably gonna need a pair of cannons for that, minimum. But hopefully, as you see, I'm starting to militarize, and as such, my production is
The
going
day
to suffer.
we stop exploring
Or my
is the day
build.
we commit ourselves to live in a stagnant world, devoid of curiosity, empty of dreams.
So yeah, I'd love to keep this, it's just... Well, it went up to 16. I just don't understand how these work, and I can't afford to linger here anymore. Let's grab this one for now. +1 gold from each envoy. I think I'm gonna want this. So I actually could swap out Charismatic Leader at this point, I think. And this leaves me with a wild card then. Sadly, this won't help. Since I'm going to have 4 trade routes, this is basically plus 8 gold. My other options, I can go for additional housing. I think this is the way I should go right now. So anyway, before we actually open this, here's the scroll bar, I think. So democracy, I think, is our best bet. It's going to give us 2 wild cards. Patronage of great people costs less gold. Yeah, I think democracy is the best way. So now my goal for civics is to figure out how to get to it. And even in here, he's way ahead. So we have to go all the way up to suffrage. Chichen Itza, we know he already has that one. Theocracy is a dead end for me. +1 movement versus +4 gold and faith from trade routes. Let's go for mercantilism. This will give the art museum, archaeological museum. Like, I don't know what a great engineer does. It would be nice to have one to actually check, but no luck. So I want to buy one of the... Oh, can I only do this in my... Oh, there's Trader. For a second there I was concerned I can only do that in the capital. Sumeria is back to being a classical republic. I'm not sure what's going on. Don't really know what I can do about spies right now. I doubt there is anything. So we can send this to Buenos Aires. I could send this to Jerusalem just to appease them. Uruk would give me a crap load of gold. This will give me more production, though. I think I'm going to end up sending everything to Buenos Aires. So this only puts my defense up to 20. So I'll be able to build another trader next turn. That will be in Boston going to Buenos Aires. Gilgamesh has Alhambra. +1 military policy. So yeah, I think my only chance here is hoping that the AI is kind of stupid in some of their moves. From here I'm going to need to start making some melee units. That way I have a meat shield to absorb their punishment while I dish out my own. I'm hoping that Bombard is indirect fire. That way it can shoot even if it doesn't have line of sight. Jerusalem. Like, I would like to keep my culture up. Which one's in trouble, Boston or St. Louis? The other possibility is I may get lucky here, and even though he has a really big military, it's kind of obsolete. If you notice, not all of his stuff has upgrades. So we're going to have the crossbow fortify. That one's standing guard there. This one I'm going to pull over here. Now, I don't know if the Bombard upgrades into the field cannon or not. Regardless, I'm going to need a pair of those outside so I can just shell the place into oblivion. I think my success here is going to be contingent upon me getting that city and then just holding him at bay on the other fronts. At this point, it's looking very likely he's going to invade anyway. Okay, workshop should be completed there. Could look at Renaissance walls, but I don't think it's worthwhile. If I go for the amphitheater, it's going to give me an additional citizen slot, but we're going for a university, we need the science. So preferably I'm going to have an anti-cavalry unit out here. That way I can hold the knight and whatever else is at bay. I'm going to need that university to finish somewhat soon, unfortunately. The other thing is, with St. Louis and Boston hitting 10 pop, I could look into giving them economic districts. The thing is, the trade routes aren't as valuable at this point, since they're all going to the same place.
Let's get on our knees and pray. I don't know to whom. Is there a patron saint of ballistics yet?
Give them time. Roads upgraded. Big Ben. Doubles current treasury. Next to a river adjacent to a commercial hub district with a bank. Scientific theory is here. This will give us Oxford, I wonder. Grasslander Plains, adjacent to a campus district with a university. So yeah, I guess I could build it here. How's Washington for pop? Let's see. Is the Bombard still listed or no? Mont Saint Michel. That's worthless to me since I don't have a religion. So yeah, I'll actually still take the Bombard. If I have the gold, I can upgrade it. The warrior has arrived. I can upgrade to a musket. That is great news. Ah, so we know China's one of the civs. Guess I will have Buenos Aires to help me over here. So we'll fortify this. For the crossbow, I can upgrade this to a field cannon. I'm kind of curious. Let's see it. But yeah, at this rate, I'm never getting that university.
You must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is like an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty.
So I would like to get the Great Engineer in here. Prevalence for me to do that has to go in the wildcard slot. So I want to say this is worth like 10 culture. Wish I could see how much the natural philosophy is worth. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to put a break in the video here as we try to gear up for a war with Gilgamesh. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to play out, but I have to do something because I'm just falling too far behind. And a desperate gamble might be what I need to get by. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.